Welcome friends. Today we will going to learn subject biology. You know that biology it deals with study of botany, that is related with the plant, and study of zoology related with the animals. In this year your syllabus it is newly constructed. There are total 15 chapters and these are grouped under 5 units. In this chapter number 1 and 2 it consists of unit number 1. In unit number 1, reproduction in lower and higher plants, reproduction in lower and higher animals. Chapter number 3 to 4, this is unit number 2. It deals with inheritance and variation, molecular basis of inheritance, origin and evolution of the life. Unit number 3, chapter number 6 to 9, plant water relation, plant growth and mineral nutrition, respiration and circulation, control and coordination. Unit number 4, that is chapter number 10 to 12, human health and diseases, enhancement of the food production, biotechnology. Unit number 5, chapter number 13 to 15, organisms and population, ecosystem and energy flow, biodiversity, conservation and environmental issues. This is regarding the syllabus. Then come to the first chapter, that is reproduction in lower and higher plants. So first of all we will see the definition of reproduction. Reproduction is the production of new young one like parents. It is an essential process. It leads to continuation of the species as well as maintain the continuity of the life. So in every living organism, starting from lower organism up to the higher organism, this reproduction process it is continuously going on, and it is a special characteristic feature of the living organism. That's why there is maintenance of continuity of their life. And this reproduction it consists of two types, that is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. First one is asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction it does not involve fusion of the two compatible gametes or the sex cells. It is the process resulting in the production of genetically identical progeny from single organism and inherit the genes of the parents. So in asexual reproduction there is no involvement of the gamete and the progeny will be formed. It is morphologically and genetically similar to the parents, that is called as clones. In the clones the genetic makeup it is morphologically and genetically similar with the parent. That's why there is no variation in the asexual reproduction. Organism reproduce asexually, that is there is no involvement of the gamete. So there are three modes of reproduction, asexual reproduction, that is fragmentation, budding and spore formation. First one it is fragmentation. Fragmentation it is observed in multicellular organism like Spirogyra. In this it can be break into fragments due to one or other reasons. Spirogyra it is a filamentous organism, filamentous form of the organism. and in this fragments are detached from the parent plant body and it develop into new plant body. Second one, it is budding. Budding, it takes place with the help of formation of one or more buds, and these buds on separation develops into new individual. It is observed in yeast, that is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. This is mother cell. These are the chains of buds. These buds detach from the parent plant body under favorable season and develop into new individual. That process it is called as budding. It is observed in the yeast. Third one, it is spore formation. It takes place with the help of formation of the spore. These spores, these are flagellated motile zoospores which can be developed into new individual. Example is Chlamydomonas. So in the diagram, this is zoospore or zoosporangium. This zoosporangium, it consists of zoospore, and this zoospore, it consists of flagella and cilia. With the help of flagella, they can move from one place to another place. That's why these are called as motile zoospores. Under favorable season, this zoosporangium it bursts, and this zoospore it is released, and from that zoospore there is formation of from that zoosporangium there is formation of new zoospores. So this asexual reproduction, it is of three types, that is fragmentation, budding and spore formation. Other methods, it is binary fission observed in amoeba and paramecium. In case of amoeba, parent cell, it consists of nucleus. This parent cell, it divide and there is formation of two daughter cell. That process it is called as binary fission. That's why there is two cells are formed. That's why it is called as binary fission. Then conidia formation, it is observed in penicillium in fungi. In diagram, this is conidiophore. This conidiophore, it form chains of conidia, and these chains of conidia it detach from the parent plant body and there is development takes place. And third one, it is gemmule formation. It is observed in sponges. This is the structure of gemmule, that is outer membrane, archeocytes, inner membrane, monaxon spicules, and this is micropyle. So gemmule formation it is observed in sponges. These are the other methods of asexual reproduction. Then next one, it is vegetative reproduction. Vegetative reproduction, it is also a type of asexual reproduction. There is no involvement of the gamete. Fusion takes place with the help of vegetative parts, or the reproduction takes place with the help of vegetative parts like root, stem and leaf. Plants form which are identical to their parents because there is no fusion of gametes takes place, and plants develop with the help of root, stem and leaf. So this vegetative reproduction, it is of three types. In this, cutting, grafting and tissue culture. So first one, it is cutting. Cutting, it is a method. In this, small piece of any vegetative part of the plant body having one or more buds is used for the propagation. That is stem cutting. It is example is rose and bougainvillea. Leaf cutting, it is example is Sansevieria. Root cutting, example is blackberry. So in the cutting, small part of the plant body, it is cut with the help of knife or the scissor, and it is rooted in the soil. After few days, there is continuous watering is given to the plant body, and there is formation of new plant body from the cutting. Second type, it is grafting. Here parts of two plants are joined in such a way that they grow as one plant. These two parts, it is stalk and scion. Stalk, it is the rooted part of the plant body, and scion, it is the aerial part of the plant body. So here in grafting, there is union of this stalk and scion. It is called as grafting, where budding is also called as bud grafting, in which only one bud is joined on the stalk. Example is apple, pear and rose. Generally roses, these are propagated with the help of budding or also with the help of cutting. So desired bud of the particular plant, it is cut with the help of scissor, and then make a incision of T shape. It is made inside the stem, and this bud, desired bud, it is fixed inside the T shape incision of the stem with the help of thread or polythene tape. So there is union of the stalk and scion, there is union of the callus, or there is union of the stalk and scion takes place. After few days, after watering, there is formation of new branch from that particular point. It is called as bud grafting. And third one, it is tissue culture. Tissue culture, it is a process in which small part of the tissue grown on the callus culture give many plantlets. So from small part of the tissue, there is formation of whole plant body. That method, it is called as micropropagation, or recently it is also called as tissue culture. So in this method, it is a vitro condition. In vitro condition, first of all, media is taken. On this media, this part of tissue, small part of tissue, it is fixed inside that media, and after few days there is formation of callus, and from that callus there is formation of total plantlets. So this is the method of tissue culture. Then second type of reproduction, it is a sexual reproduction. So in sexual reproduction, actually there is involvement of the gamete, that is male gamete and female gamete fuses together, and it form a diploid type of zygote, and this zygote later on there is formation of embryo, and this embryo form the total plant body. So this is the general method of sexual reproduction. So all living organisms reach to the maturity in their life before they can reproduce sexually. In plants, end of the juvenile or vegetative phase mark the beginning of reproductive phase and can be seen easily in higher plants at the time of flowering. So all living organism, it consists of juvenile stage or reproductive phase. It is the beginning of reproductive phase, and it can be easily seen in the higher plants during flowering. So what is flowering? Flower is a specialized type of axis. It is specially meant for sexual reproduction. So this flower, typical flower, it consists of stalk of the flower called as pedicel. This pedicel, it ends into a disc-like structure. That disc-like structure, it is called as thalamus, and this thalamus, it consists of 4 different types of whorls. That is, outer whorl called as calyx. It is generally green in color, that's why photosynthetic in nature. Member of calyx are called as sepals. Inner to the calyx there is corolla. Member of corolla are called as sepals. These corolla, it is of different color, or petals are of different color to attract insect for the act of pollination. Then third type of whorl, it is androecium. It consists of filament and anther. Anther produces pollen grains, and pollen grain, it is nothing but the male nuclei. The innermost whorl is the gynoecium. This gynoecium, it consists of ovary, which is oval in shape, style, which is filamentous in nature, and stigma, which is receptive in nature. You can read also stigma, style, and ovary also. Ovary, it is oval in shape. Ovary produces ovules. This ovary produces ovules. So this is the typical structure of the flower. So the sexual reproduction involves 2 major events, that is meiosis and fusion of gametes. That is, meiosis means reduction cell division, in which diploid cell, it is reduced to haploid, or from diploid chromosome number, it is reduced to haploid cell, and fusion of gametes to form diploid zygote. That is, meiosis and fusion of gamete, these are the 2 main events, and the production of genetically dissimilar offspring. Variations are useful from the point of view of survival and the evolution of the species over the time. So in sexual reproduction, there is variations occur due to the presence of meiosis and fusion of the gametes. In case of asexual reproduction, there is no fusion of gametes. Actual fusion of gametes, it takes place in the sexual reproduction, that is male gamete and female gamete. Both these are different gametes. They unite together, and that's why variation occur. So this meiosis, that is reduction cell division, and fusion of the gamete, these are the 2 main events. These are present in the sexual reproduction. That's why in sexual reproduction variations are occur, and that variation leads to evolution. Due to variation, there is evolution occur in the progeny or in the individual. Then structure of the anther. So if you observe the structure of androecium, this androecium, it consists of filament and anther. This anther produces pollen grains. So individual member of anther are called as stamen. So if you take the section of this anther, that is transverse section, you will find that this is a line of dehiscence. From that line, this anther, it will break, or also called as dehiscence. In TS, there is pollen sac is present. This pollen sac produces pollen grains. An immature stage of anther is represented by group of parenchymatous tissue. It is surrounded by single layer of epidermis. If you observe the structure of anther in the TS, you will find that it is made up of parenchymatous tissue, and this parenchymatous tissue, it is made up of single layered epidermis. Anther is generally diathecous, dia means 2, and having 2 lobes and tetrasporangiate. Having 2 lobes, that's why it is called as tetrasporangiate anther. Each monothecous anther contains 2 pollen sac. In case of monothecous anther, there is single sac is present. Monothecous anther, it consists of 2 pollen sacs. In diathecous anther, 4 pollen sacs are present. Therefore, it is tetrasporangiate. In monothecous, it is bisporangiate. The heterogeneity, that is differentiation, arises when some hypodermal cell get transformed into archisporial cell. So in case of this anther, differentiation occur when this hypodermal cell it converted into archisporial cell. This is TS of anther. This TS of anther, it consists of following layers, that is epidermis, endothecium, middle layers, tapetum. So TS of anther, it consists of outer single layered epidermis. This epidermis covers this anther. It is protective in nature. It is made up of parenchymatous tissue. It is single layer in thickness, made up of polygonal type of cell. Inner to the epidermis, there is endothecium. This is endothecium, is the subepidermal layer because it is present below the epidermis. That's why it is called as subepidermal layer, made up of radially elongated cell with fibrous thickening. There is thickenings are present. It is radially thickening. Then third one, it is middle layers, endothecium. Below endothecium, there is 2 to 3 layers of middle layers are present, which may be disintegrate into mature anther. Later on, it is converted. Inner to the middle layer, there is a tapetum. This tapetum layer, it is nutritive in nature. It nourishes the pollen mother cell or the pollen grain which are present inside the sac. During growing period, this tapetum layer, it provides nourishment for the developing pollen grains. So these are the 4 main layers present in the anther, that is outer epidermis, then endothecium, middle layers, tapetum, which provides nutrition for developing pollen grains or pollen mother cell, and in the center there is a sporogenous tissue. These are the sporogenous tissue. This sporogenous tissue later on form pollen grain, and this is in the center there is connective. This connective is the vascular supply. Then come to the development of the male gametophyte. In development of male gametophyte, For the development pollen grain, for the development of male gametophyte, pollen grain, it is the essential part. This pollen grain, it consists of two layers, that is outer exine and inner intine. In the center there is nucleus, it is surrounded by the cell cytoplasm. So for the development of the male gametophyte, there is requirement of the pollen grain, or the pollen grain is the initial cell of development of male gametophyte.